That's it. We are live. Good morning, everyone.
Morning, everyone.
What's up, everybody? Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. All right.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
All right. So today, we are talking about low down payment buyers in hot markets. And we are fortunate enough to have some guests that we are going to bring on a little bit later. And our audience in Facebook, please leave some comments. And if you really need to, we'll bring you on into the broadcast as well. Anyway, so Ed, Israel, and I are going to discuss the challenges, the struggles, and the successes of closing deals with low down payment buyers, right? You guys want to start?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first of all, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Friday edition of Real Estate Unwrapped. All right. So it's interesting because, like Gigi said, we do have a couple of people on, a couple of ladies on that are going to kind of discuss their successes in with low down payments in the hot market. Now, I'll be honest, and I'm sure Israel, I'm sure Gigi, you both are facing this right now. You're working with buyers. You're taking them to properties. Well, I mean, Gigi, I know. I'm sorry. Gigi is she's a listing agent. She doesn't deal with buyers.
I do. I have a couple of buyers this year that I let in.
Okay. Oh my God, the miracle. It's a miracle. She's working with these buyers. But all right, you know what? I respect them all. Buyers, sellers, it's okay. Whatever you need, I'm here to help. And I'm sure Israel's the same, right, Iz?
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely.
There you go. All right.
So
cool.
I come from the misconception as a mainly listing agent that I want to have deals with skin in the game. The bigger the down payment, the better for my sellers. And sometimes, they are at less risk to fall apart. But then again, there are some other instances where a low down payment or no down payment at all in a VA loan, it's really possible. And I've done it. I'm not even reluctantly, but I've done it. And we can, there is a conception in this market that if you want, especially in Nassau County or Suffolk County, where everybody is overbilling everyone, and you get these $100,000 over asking situations where it's better to have a large down payment. What do you think, guys?
I mean, literally, I've been dealing with some listing agents that if you're coming in with 3.5% down, they're concerned that that's going to bring an issue, because I don't know about you folks, but when you're coming in with FHA loans, yeah, absolutely. 3.5% down sounds amazing. But what you have to understand is on the other end, these banks want to make sure, because of the fact that they're putting the most amount of money, mostly their money, into this property that you want to buy. So they want to make sure they comb through it with a fine comb, and they're going to check everything. So it gets a little strenuous.
So we're going to have actually three guesses because we're going to have Cherise Sapp, Christina Peoples, and Barbara Piasek, all of them, of course, from our organization. Fantastic people. We haven't had a chance to discuss pre-launch of this live with Barbara because she was on appointment. We're really glad she's going to be on. Barbara, if you could just hang on, we'll bring you on in a minute. All right.
Awesome.
Anybody out there with comments and want to share some experiences? I know that yesterday when I wanted to get participation in our live, I had responses from Michelle Ibrahimov, also from our
Morning, Way.
Yeah.
Good morning, Way.
Who had some good experiences in, let me just bring up the question. So Michelle had a VA loan that closed basically in 45 days, very recently, with 0% down, of course. There was a little bit of money at contract, and we'll discuss that. She put 10K down. Her buyer put 10K down. Jonathan Abulov also had a VA loan in Rego Park, which is amazing. He's not going to be able to jump in today. And I know Barbara also have some good stories. Who are we going to bring on today to share those experience?
So quickly,
Nice.
before we bring them on, I want to ask you guys a question. Because, well, not even Gigi, because again, Gigi just deals with the listing side, right? But on the listing side, Gigi, I know you see the lines that are coming to your doors, and I'm going to ask you this question in a second, but I want to ask this to Israel. Israel, I know when we go out to these properties and we see them, for the most part, there's lines and a half wrapped around the block, right?
Right.
You have people coming with yellow envelopes. You know those yellow envelopes have offers inside, and when you see them, you're like, oh my God, like you see that person right there, they have an offer already, right? So you're literally preparing your buyers. So with that being said, what are some of the steps that you have to kind of coach them through? Because sometimes we get buyers that are eager for that 3.5% down, but on the listing end, I mean, like I said, I'll ask Gigi that question after, but when that comes into play, what do you do? How can you coach them through that? How can you help them understand what they're about to walk into?
Well, it's a difficult situation. I mean, you're actually having to deal with multiple offers that's going to happen into that house. So really it gets to that point of knowing and at least explain to them how much do you love this house in order to place the right offer, right? Because even at 3.5, look, at the end of the day, the seller's going to get the number that they're looking for, right? And if we actually have to just come in there with the right number first and then show them that you're, even at 3.5, you still are qualified to actually buy this home. So, you know, give them the expectations of, one, don't come in thinking that you're going to do a lowball offer. You know, you don't think that it's going to be a discounted situation, because this is not a discounted market for it. When you have a line of people waiting to come see it, that means that this market, or at least this house, is hot. So once we go through the entire house, we want to make sure that we actually see how much you love it. And then by doing that, we're going to have to show it by the price we're going to put in front of the owner's face. So that's pretty much what I do. And in a basic note, I mean, there are some other information that I do share, but in the long run, it's really to educate and at least give the expectations to the buyers that we're going to have competitions over 5 to 10 people putting offers on this. Some of them are going to put 20, 10, 5%. And really, it starts with the number. And then after the numbers, we have to show the seller that we actually are really good, even at 3.5%.
Yeah. So now check this out. Israel comes with his buyer to Gigi's open house. Gigi has a line and a half, right? Line and a half wrapped around the block, 200 people coming through the door. She can't even keep track. She's like, you deal with it, right? And here comes Israel with his buyer, right? Now, Gigi, on the listing end, let's be honest, right? When you see these offers come in, when you see these offers come in as a listing agent, what are you really looking for? Are you really looking for those 3.5% down payments, or are you really looking for what?
Here's the lowdown on this. So we usually list houses at very competitive price whenever we can, which means we're going to price it a little bit lower than what the market can bring. So unfortunately, fortunately for a lot, fortunately for the one who's going to win the house, we're gonna, I mean, definitely for the seller, we're going to bring in a lot of offers. And that's the plan we have, is to bring as many offers as possible and bring the best price and terms for that seller. It doesn't mean it's the highest price. It could be sometimes, if somebody is going to come at 50% down, $5,000 less than the highest offer, versus a 5% down, and we are feeling that we're not going to get the comps for it, we're going to go for that deal with a much higher down payment. And a lot of the times what I've experienced, there is a threshold, unfortunately, you know, money talks in America, a threshold in price for the low down payment homes. And I wish the agents that would bring the buyers to our listings would basically educate a little bit more and not bring the hopes up, you know, of those buyers. Because you see the family coming in with, you know, their parents, all their kids, and they're looking, we love the house, we want the house. And you're like, it's not going to happen, you know, unfortunately. And it's hard because it's only one buyer for that house.
Yeah, one buyer for the house, but millions of buyers in the market right now. So look, the reason why we
27, 30 offers, I mean, crazy stuff, and qualified offers. you know,
Yeah.
especially if you're going to ask for all documentation, you know. But then there are instances where it's not as crazy, and then you can apply different strategies, which we're going to be able to bring on the ladies. And I'm glad we have ladies today. Ladies,
I know you
it's
are,
Ladies'
Jeez.
Day.
I know you are. I know you are. It's exciting.
Yeah.
So we're gonna bring these ladies on because they actually have success stories. They've gotten their offers accepted with either zero down payment to almost no down payment to like minimal down payment. So I think
and
what
they
we'll
have
do is
great strategies. I want you guys to listen, those who are listening to this broadcast, is the takeaway is the strategies applied to get those offers accepted, because there are strategies, okay? And we're welcoming your comments. And if you guys have another strategy that is working for you, please share it with us.
Yeah, so I know we put it in the chat, and the question is, have you ever had an offer recently accepted with low down payment in a hot market? So definitely comment and share your stories below. But right now, what we're going to do is we get to pick. They don't even know which one's coming up first. That's the funny part. They don't even know, right? So we're going to go ahead and pick. So right now, on the count of three, I'm going to choose 1, 2, 3. We're going to bring up Cherise.
Yeah.
What's going on, Cherise? How are you?
I am good. How are you guys doing?
Cherise.
Awesome. I like that painting back there. That's a nice painting.
Yes. So I had to do it for my son's room because for some reason my computer isn't working in my little office that I recently set up. So I'm in my son's room this morning.
And Cherise just moved from New York to Atlanta, and I think we should do maybe a little interview with Cherise at some point to talk about her transition from New York to Atlanta. But congratulations on your move. Cherise is a superstar in our market. She's a superstar in our team. We're really glad to have her. And just go ahead. I mean, if you want, I know you are a master at bringing buyers to the finish line with those low down payments.
Yes. So I've always been a buyer's agent. Ever since coming into the market, it's just something that I love doing. Seeing those families, Gigi, at the end of the day, at closing, when they're so excited, especially the children at walkthrough, when they're picking out their bedrooms, that is one of the best experiences ever. So compared to Gigi, yes, I love listings, but it is a little bit stressful. I think it's more stressful than being a buyer's agent. So I do have several deals in contract right now, but after listening to you guys, I would say one of the best deals that's about to close in 2 weeks is an FHA deal. And the reason why I'm going to talk about this one is because, Gigi, this one was originally a conventional loan. And we went from conventional to FHA. So the strategy behind this, Gigi, is, like you said, there is a line when you go to these open homes, open houses around the block. And my buyer was not that she wasn't approved enough or that she didn't have enough money for down payment. Is by the time the listing agent gets to the offer, they've already received 20 plus offers, right?
That's true.
Right.
So, you know, what we had to do was something a little bit different. And what we did was, instead of looking at a home that was on market, that everybody was going for, we opted to go for a FSBO.
Oh,
right.
Yes.
Very smart.
So before we continue, Cherise, what area was this?
This is in Valley Stream.
Oh, hot as hell. Yeah.
Valley Stream. So the funny story with this transaction is 1 block over from this particular FSBO was another house that we went to look at. And that house was in the same price range, but a little bit smaller. Line down the street and around the corner. I remember it was the first warm day of the spring. It was a Sunday and it was literally hot outside. I don't normally go to these open, houses because I let the customers know ahead of time that, what the competition is going to be like. But because she insisted, we went anyway. And when we went, driving around the block, I saw that it was a small sign too in the doorway. And I was like, wait a minute, there's a FSBO. So after we looked at all the listings that we had scheduled for that day, we went and knocked on the door for the FSBO. And he said to me, Right. And he said to me, hey, I have a cash offer on the table. Cash offer on the table. And, I said to him, I said, well, it's a cash offer. Did you see proof of funds? Did he come in with an agent? And after talking to, it was an older gentleman, he was like, you know what? You're here with your buyer. You have proof of funds. I was showing him, her pre-approval and everything. And he goes, okay, go ahead. Take a look at the house.
That is really gutsy. That is really, really gutsy. And mind you, I just want to remind everyone, for compliance with New York State, you can solicit owners only when you have a identifiable buyer. And that buyer was, of course, there, and she had the proof of fund. So
correct.
You, because that was really, really gutsy. But
it was.
Yeah.
But we saw the house, and she was like, okay, I want to make the offer. So, I said, you don't want to go and think about it. She said it in front of the seller. She was like, no, I want to make the offer right now. So we made the offer right then and there. And he says, hey, I'm going to give you a call back tomorrow and let you know. I want to talk it over with my wife, and I want to talk it over with my attorney.
Wow.
So they did call me back the next day. And he said, you're the first realtor I let in because I already had a buyer on the table. So it was a very crazy transaction. We're getting ready to close right now. And we explained to him, because there was so much work needed to be done, we're going to go with FHA. We're going to switch a loan to FHA so she can hold on to as much money as possible so she could do the renovation that she wants to do in the property.
Wow.
So that's how we did that transaction.
Very
so
nice.
You've been doing this for a few years, right? So you understand basically how to apply strategies. You apply different strategies for different scenario, I suppose, right?
Yes, depending on buyer, because every buyer, yes, they all close the same way, but their story is a little bit different.
Yeah. Someone is asking, who pays you the commission?
Well, in this situation, because we call it the meeting of the minds, and they were both in the room at the same time, and because it was a FSBO, they each agreed to pay me a percentage.
Oh, wow. Amazing.
Yes.
Very nice.
Wow.
So that's, but usually you can negotiate that with the seller, with the FSBO. You can ask them, hey, are you willing to pay me a commission?
Correct.
And
That is
also,
great.
guys, just to let you know, for compliance reasons, like Gigi says, this is a conversation you're supposed to have with your buyers up front when you're signing those disclosures. So that's something we talked about in the buyer consultation. Hey, just a possibility that should we look at a property that's off market, are you willing to pay, a commission? So she was already open to that because we had that conversation beforehand.
Wow.
Nice.
And
That's awesome.
All right, sorry guys, I'm having my Facebook. I'm trying to see who
That's really important.
Yes.
Yeah. No, that's awesome, Sharice. So we appreciate it, Sharice. Just so we can give more time to everybody else.
For the question. Yeah. So let's move on. I think we're doing really great. Those are like great insight. Thank you, Sherit. You might come back on. We never know. Somebody may have a question. Thank you. Don't leave, please.
Sure.
No, but we appreciate it, Sharice. So we'll catch up with you later, all right?
Okay.
Thanks. So that was an interesting story right there.
Yeah. And you see, like, you have to think outside the box. And what is great with Sharice is basically knowing that all those open houses are pretty much a dead end, yet you have to like think outside the box and go to those FSBOs are. They're probably everybody's thinking of those guys right now because there are so many listings with brokers out there, right?
That's true.
Yeah, it's true.
I think it was smart, and then that's the buyer's agency that she was working with too. So
do you
that
guys
was smart.
do you want to bring Christina? Because I know she's on the road.
Yeah,
busy. The girl is killing it.
You picked it, so here we go. We're gonna bring to the stage Christina.
Yeah, and Christina is a superstar, superstar. As shiny as Sharice. Hi guys.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Good morning. I'm on the road, so I'm not going to be able to pay.
I know you. So you can. I know you're busy. You're going to your next appointment. Why don't you want to share with us, basically the strategy, the stories you have about your veterans loan, like the zero down, and maybe talk about that, and the other low down payments and the strategies you apply.
So I currently, just to give them a little bit of stats, I have 3 VA loans under contract and I have 2 FHA loans under contract.
Amazing.
Very nice.
I guess
Congrats.
one of the biggest strategies that I have, that I have for the VA loans, especially out on Long Island, I was telling Gigi this yesterday, is that we have a lot of patriots that live in Long Island. So
yes.
One of the things that I do with my clients is number one, let them know that because most of the VA buyers have other properties, but usually they're outside of the state of New York. And most sellers in other states are okay with not putting any money down at the sign of contract because most of the real estate agents are handling contracts, but we're not a state.
We're in an attorney state. I know
not transfer deed without an attorney present, blah, blah, blah. So you just have to let them know that they have to put money down. Sorry, can you hear me? I'm just on the
Yes,
highway.
we can.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah,
can hear
you. So I just let them know that they have to be willing to put some money down at the sign of contract. And I usually push them to put anything north of 10,000, just in good faith that, they're going to fulfill the mortgage of this loan. They're going to move forward, that they have been pre-approved correctly, that all of their credentials are in place. There's nothing that's going to become a hiccup in this loan for them to forfeit their down payment. However, that down payment actually at the closing table moves to the back of the loan. The back of the loan, which covers their closing costs. So it still becomes a zero down loan. However, when I'm putting in offers, what I'm doing is I'm letting the sellers know, hey, this client is a special forces within the Marines. They served 2 tours in Afghanistan. You let them know what their credentials are and that they've served our country and they're looking to purchase a home, your home particularly, and usually it helps. I've had one of my clients, one of the sellers tell my client, I don't want any more money than what I'm asking. I'm going to give him the house. He served our country, and I'm going to give him.
Wow, that's good.
What I'm asking for. I didn't need him to go over asking, and I think they did have 10% down on that house, and he went ahead and went with my client's offer because he's a veteran, So there's different ways and different strategies that you have to get creative in this market, for sure. But that's just one of the stories that I have. And I don't think that it's impossible, but my number one thing is to tell your clients at the beginning is that you have to be consistent. You can't go out today and then you not see your client again for 2 weeks. That's not being consistent. For me, most of my offers are accepted during the week. So if you can get your clients out during the week, it's better than the weekends, because what are the weekends? They're oversaturated with too many buyers. You know what I mean? And that's how your buyers get burnt out. And you just have to be honest with them. We may get some rejected offers, but we have to be consistent in this market. We have to get out there as many times as possible, and as many times as you can get a showing that's a private showing rather than going to an open house. You get to kind of have more of that one-on-one with the listing agent to kind of see what's going on, to know where the seller stands, what they're looking for. Do you have any offers on the table? So there's different type of tactics that you have to have. And I guess me and Sharice will always tell you is to keep your network good, keep good relationships with your fellow real estate agents, not just in EXP, but in other brokerages, because you never know when you have to walk over their bridge.
Wow. Amazing advice. Thank you so much.
Can you guys hear me?
Really good.
Yes, we did. We heard you loud and clear.
Okay. No problem.
I know. So this is amazing. So this was Christina P. Before that, we had Sharice Sapp. Fantastic advice. And what Sharice and Christina actually, I just found that out today. They sort of talk, they were in the same market until recently, and they sort of powwow, on a regular basis to just see, what works, best practices and what is really, really good for them, what works, what doesn't work. And I think you need to find a group, like our group is great, where people can network and figure out, how they can better their business, better themselves. Thank you, ladies. This is amazing. I don't want to go on too long today for this. Maybe we should. Thank you, Christina. I know you're on the way to another appointment, correct? She's gone. I don't know if she's hearing us.
Yes, but I have like 20 minutes. So if you have like one more question.
Okay, let's see if we can bring you back. No problem. Do you want to, haven't had a chance to speak to Barbara. I think Barbara was telling us yesterday before we bring her on. Let me look at my notes on workplace.
So as you look at your notes, Gigi, I like what Christina was talking about, but she did mention that, one of the sellers said, you know what, he's not asking for more. He just asked for what he's asking for. His house is what he wants, and he wanted to give that house to sell that house to them. So the good thing was that at least they came in at asking. What's happening sometimes in the market is some folks are now trying to get these offers accepted, and they don't even want to submit what the asking price is. And most of the time, these properties are priced right.
Yeah.
But as you can see, a lot of them are submitting offers close to asking, if not over.
Yeah. So Barbara is who's going to come on, is under contract in Maspeth, Queens, on a one family. She was able to secure an FHA deal with a $30,000 seller's concession. That's
what?
Well, for Queens, yes, I know. I think
in Queens.
Right. Yes, in Maspeth.
So let's welcome to the stage, Barbara.
Yeah. Hi, Barbara.
What's up, Barbara?
Hello, family. Yes. Thank you for having me.
So Barbara is also a leader in our team, in our organization. She brings a lot of value. She's part of the council with us. She's also a superstar. And I'm really proud to see as well that she was able to accomplish in Maspeth an FHA loan. I haven't heard this one at all. I'm is that even possible? Go ahead. Tell us.
Hold on. How many backflips did you have to do, Barbara, to get that property accepted?
Well, it's a long story. I'll try to keep it short and sweet.
Cool.
Just like Christina mentioned, I tried to also get private showings. So that's what we did with this one. We set it up when the listing agent wasn't available. So I'm like, not a problem. I'll accompany the buyers. I'll be very nice to the seller. We'll make sure to be very professional. So I won the agent's trust. We got in there without the agent. Hear me okay?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. So we got in there, we talked the seller, we complimented the house a lot. The seller was there for a very long time. She was raised in the house. So there was a lot of emotional attachment. So we made sure, we respected that. The sellers also appreciated that because that was a family. So a new family coming in to replace the existing family. They got along very well. And then with actually negotiating the price and getting the seller concession, I think one of the ladies also mentioned this, depending on the condition, sometimes there's a lot of work that needs to be done. A lot of these houses in Queens are 100 years old, There's a lot of stuff that needs to be fixed. So that's what we leverage, this needs to be replaced, this needs to be changed. We're not sure about this, we're going to take it as is, but we need to wrap in that extra fund so they could fix it. So the seller wouldn't have to worry about those stuff because we already knew it was going to come up during inspection, So that's how we got that in. And with the FHA, I knew that was going to be a little bit of a struggle. So what I did was I got them pre-approved by 2 reputable lenders. So I figured the listing agent would at least know one of them. One was a local one right in Mass, but another one was somebody we use, all the time with our office, and they got pre-approved with both. So that gave the listing agent a little bit extra security and the seller, Same thing with the attorney. I chose a local attorney, so the listing agent knew the attorney, the other attorney knew, they knew each other, so it made the I guess the actual deal solidified, that everybody was going to be on the same page.
That is very important to have your team of not only, you know, like working buyer, seller, but also the vendors you're going to be working with. I think the mortgage, your team in mortgage and in the, you know, like the attorneys, this is very, very important to make sure that you have enough cohesion and they bring that deal to closing. You know,
Yeah.
I've been working with attorneys. I had no clue they were not even real estate attorneys, and things didn't even close because of their lack of understanding and lack of communication. So it is very, very important. It is super important.
Yeah, I feel like the mortgage right now piece is more important than ever, because these buyers, a lot of them were on unemployment for a period of time. Now they're back to work. There was a gap. Maybe it's a different industry that they joined. You know, we know it could get very complicated. So that's another thing that I used as leverage, explaining to the seller, you know, and the seller's agent, how my buyers, how qualified they are, how, you know, they did also have to be on unemployment for a period of time, but it was the same industry that they went back. They had proof that they're back, you know, full scale plus overtime. You know, showing them the income, even though you don't need to show income when you're putting in an offer that with pre-approval for a house. But I showed them, you know, this is their income. They make more than needed. You know, their credit is excellent. So I made them feel very secure about this offer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just wanted to, Jonathan is not with us, but Jonathan Abiola from our team. Yesterday, we were texting as well, and he shared that he was able to secure an FHA loan with a $30,000 concession as well in Rego Park.
Nice.
It's also pretty amazing. Charisse, I don't know if you, I was sending you a text. Do you want to add additional advices, since you are really like killing it with those buyers and the lower down payment? Really, really, your advice is really welcome. We love it. This is great information for all the agents out there. And those are not agents that want to know what the inside scoop is.
The only advice I have for my buyers and for the agents that are watching right now is to really make sure that you build a rapport with your customers. Your customers respect you more when you're honest and you tell them what's going on, as opposed to feeling like they're just another number, right? So that, I think that's one of my best advice. And also do a consultation ahead of time, because if you're treating them like every other agent, they'll have no loyalty to you. That's one of my biggest advice. And make sure you know, the second one is make sure you know the loan officer. Even if you've never done a transaction with that loan officer, pick up the phone, call them, get a better understanding for why is it that they're doing a lower down payment. You know, just go through, it's not that you're doing the loan officer's job for them. It's just to have a better understanding of who your customer is and why you have to structure the deal the way that you have to do it. Whether or not they're doing a seller's concession or whether or not they're paying that closing cost themselves.
Great advice. Barbara, you want to add something?
Yes. I have another deal that, you know, we were multiple offer situations, so we had to negotiate the terms as well. And it came down to who's gonna accept the fact that the seller needs to buy another property. In this case, they have to buy a co-op. So it's a 3-4 month process. They have to wait to get board approval. And there was a few offers that the attorneys were actually not allowing the buyer to sign with that contingency. So my buyer was like, okay, I will be patient. I love this place. I understand the seller needs to buy something else. You know, we're not going to kick them out on the street. And that's how that offer got accepted, because we were patient. And, you know, it's a transitional market. Everybody is going somewhere. You know, people from New York are moving to Florida, Georgia, Carolina. People from Florida are coming back to New York. You know, everything's rotating. So we just have to be very human about it. We have to understand every single situation and try to become the mediator.
That's amazing. I mean, I think the fact is, if you're going to really listen to the need of the seller as well, because sometimes it's not just give me the best and highest. Yes, they have other needs. If they need to sell, they want to buy, you have, and a lot of the times, yes, it goes the other way. Some buyers don't want to wait. They want that house next month. They want to be in. They want to start the renovation. So you're right. And they feel like, you know what, too bad. If I don't get this one, there are so many, you know, I'll get something else. I know there aren't that many, but that's how they feel. They don't want to wait. Great, great advice. Gentlemen, we haven't heard you much today. Would you like to add something? I know I have one deal this year which I allowed. Again, it's not in hot markets, a little bit different. I allowed I had 3 offers on that apartment, condo apartment, luxury, above $500,000, 1 bedroom. I got a VA loan. And I felt very comfortable talking to the sellers about it. The sellers are in the medical profession, so they're very caring people. And listening, I made the presentation for the agent because he just threw me paper, and I had met a couple of times with the buyer because that agent was pretty much never around. He got lucky. I accepted to do a deal with him, and I got to know the buyer a little bit. And same thing, I was able to translate to the sellers, like she was in the armed force. She's gonna buy this property, but she has this great job. She's making over 100K. She's still going to put a little bit of money at down payment, at contract signing, and we're almost ready to close this month. Yes, it took a little bit of time. It's probably taking like a couple, 2-3 weeks more than a regular condo transaction would take, but in the end, it's all good. That's it.
So yeah, I mean, look, I've had a couple of takeaways from you ladies, and again, thank you so much for jumping on. You shared a lot of nuggets, and I hope the people that were watching were actually taking notes as well. But what it seems to be is, for the most part, you have to develop the relationships with whoever it is that you're working with, but not just the buyer or the seller. Whoever it is coming through that door, the next agent that comes in through the door, you want to build a relationship with that person, because if that agent likes you, they're going to want to do the deal with you. They're going to be okay to do the deal with you. They're going to say, all right, I trust this person. You know, I like Gigi. I like her French accent. You know, she's so cool. You know, I wish I was cool like her, you know, and then that's how it comes out to be. And people connect. People end up connecting with that, you know, which is nice. And I like that. I like the fact that you ladies share that. And then Barbara killed it with the fact that she was paying attention. She was alert. She was making sure that what she presented, she was also taking the initiative to also give backup, right?
Yeah.
She got them pre-approved twice. She got them to make sure that everyone was comfortable. Listen, they're here. They're ready to go. They're ready to lock. They're ready to get this locked in. You know, so I like that.
Charisse and Christina, the fact that you strategize, you know, like not having to go to open house knowing that this is a waste of time. Strategize, thinking outside the box, going to a FISBO. Those things are like pretty. I don't really work buyers that much, so I kudos to you, because I don't even think I would have thought of it. At the moment, it's like, oh my God, 200 people at one house. What do we do? What do we do? And you just make it happen like every day. This is like amazing. Amazing. I'd love to be, you know, the audience out there, if you have more questions for Barbara, Charisse, and Christina, please post them, and we can make sure that we keep this dialogue open. All right?
Yeah, definitely.
More of this. You know, please, you know, like propose some discussions you'd like us to have. I think this was a great format. We were a little bit worried that we have too many people on, but it's working out very well.
So what that means is Gigi wants to invite every single person that is watching this live right now to tune in next time to the live stream, and we're all going to just jump on and have a live party.
Yeah, we should. Yeah.
Right?
I think we can have only 10 people max on this stream.
Oh, that's it. We gotta have a qualifier for that then.
I know.
Some type of qualification for that.
There is an entry fee. I know.
Awesome.
All right.
Oh, there is an entry fee.
Yeah, Israel, you want to finish up? I think we're going to wrap it under an hour. It's amazing. This was great content, like concentrated, fantastic. Israel, you want to wrap it up?
No, I mean, listen, I think that ladies, you did a fabulous job. And what I got out of the nugget is, Gigi already said that you went out of the box. That's the thing with low down payments. You just can't go with what the market is guiding you. I mean, Charisse, you went to a FISBO and strategized the different ways of what off market, to find a home for that person, because everybody's actually going straight to a straight and narrow thing, and you just went out of the box, and everybody just has a strategy to do everything, and I actually like that. I actually had to do the same thing too for one of my low down payment ones as well. This happened years ago, and I had to think outside the box as well. So I completely understand what you guys have done, and I appreciate for everything that you're doing so far. And I look forward to the next one. I look forward to the next one and having more people on this.
Thank you, ladies. This was pretty amazing. You guys are, you guys are fantastic agents. I'm glad to be associated with you. All of you guys, my guys, those ladies, thank you so much. I'm really honored to be part of this organization. It is a great group just to make things move forward with ethically, compliance, being right there real with our clients. This is fantastic. Thank you so much. All right. Yeah,
good
amen
work,
to
work.
this. This is a blessing.
Thank you.
This is a good way to close out the Friday.
Yeah, so let's have a great weekend, everybody. All
Go
right.
out there and kill it, everybody.
Yes,
all right.
Go take some homes. All right. See you next week.
All right.
All right.
everybody.
Our song.
Let's go. Close out the weekend. That was good.
That was
Awesome.
great. Thank you so much.